Conduct competency assessment. Establish the context and purpose of assessment. The assessor must familiarize self with the qualification or unit of competencies to be assessed. Ensure that the assessment site complies with the relevant occupational health and safety requirements. Ensure that the assessment resources are available. Prepare the candidate.
Good morning, everyone. So before we start, please stand up for the prayer. Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. In you, we not take a seat.
The assessor shall introduce herself.
My name is Jessa Mae Boyles from Southern State University. I am accredited competency assessor and entity holder in Co-Create and C2. So just the provincial office designates me to conduct assessment in Co-Create and C2.
Acknowledge the presence of the tester representative, assessment center manager, and processing officer.
With me is the tester representative, Ms. Good morning, ma'am. And also our AC manager is Good morning, ma'am. And our processing officer is Good morning, ma'am. So you don't have to worry about their presence because they will just be here to observe and make sure that the competency assessment is aligned to the competency assessment methodology and procedure. So they will not be the one to assess you.
Check attendance and identity of candidates and collect admission slips.
Check first your attendance. So this is the attendance sheet. So kindly affix your signature and pass it to the other candidates. Submit the attendance sheet if you are done. So when your name is called, please come forward and submit your admission slip. DG Aurelia. Maria Apple. Mary Rose Laura. Anna Limaro. Thank you. The last one is Mercy Himo.
Present to the candidates an accomplished application form with self-assessment guide and explain its significance.
Here are accomplished self-assessment guide which you filled up. So this indicator that you are indeed ready to perform the units of competency enumerated in this qualification. I'd like to welcome you all to our assessment. The purpose of this assessment is to determine your level of competency for this qualification. Alright, to put us all together in the right perspective, there is a need for us to have a common understanding of the notions of assessment.
Conduct orientation to the candidates.
I'm now going to administer competency assessment for Co-Create and C2, and it has 5 units of competencies, namely clean and maintain kitchen premises, prepare stocks and sauces and soups, prepare appetizers, prepare sandwiches, and prepare salad and dressing.
The assessor must explain the context and purpose of the assessment.
The 4 units of this qualification are clustered to form one assessment package for full qualification. Meaning to say you have to be competent to all units of competencies for you to become competent for that qualification. So the 4 units of this qualification are clustered to form one assessment package for full qualification. Meaning to say you have to be competent to all units of competencies for you to become competent for that qualification.
Task to be performed and the evidence to be collected. Assessment procedures to be undertaken.
So in this assessment, you will be judged using both demonstration and oral questioning and written test. So it is expected that you can provide evidences on the 4 units of competencies specified in competency standards. So within 6 hours and 30 minutes, you will be performing the following task. So while you are performing the task, I will be observing, and after demonstration, I will be asking questions related to your demonstration. And you will be given specific instructions to guide you in your task.
needs of the candidates to be considered during the assessment.
So the comfort room is located at the end of the hallway. And if you need to take a meal, we have a canteen outside the assessment center. However, during the assessment, we're not allowed to leave the premises. So let me remind you to not disturb your co-candidates, and you are not allowed to go out from the assessment center when you already start performing the task. Is that clear? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Furthermore, after the assessment and decisions have been made, if you do not agree with my decision as your assessor, you have the right to make an appeal by writing a letter of appeal to the TESDA Provincial Director and TESDA Provincial Office.
Issuance of National Certificate or Certificate of Competency.
If you are found competent, you will be awarded the National Certificate of Competency signed by the TESDA Director General, and it will be valid for 5 years upon expiration. It will be renewed upon your request and after verification.
Reassessment procedures.
On the other hand, if ever you will be declared not yet competent, you may apply for reassessment anytime at your own convenience. So in case of assessment for a full national qualification, reassessment shall be focused only on the specific areas where you have not satisfactorily achieved the required level of competence, and shall pay the full assessment fee based on the list of fees promulgated by the TESDA board, that is 700 pesos. However, if you fail the assessment for 2 consecutive times, you are advised to go through a refresher course before taking another assessment.
Provide each candidate a copy of the specific instruction to the candidate.
So now I am going to give you a copy of specific instruction. Please read them carefully. Please read them carefully.
Allowable or reasonable adjustments when applicable.
So if you have some questions or clarifications, or if there are a need for me to translate in instructions, I will be willing to entertain it. If you need assistance, just raise your hand and I will be willing to assist you.
The assessor explains and guides the candidates in interpreting the instruction and shall ensure that the candidates understand the contents of the instruction.
Any questions or clarification before we proceed? None. Okay, if there's none, I will now distribute the written test to test your knowledge. It is a 30-item test good for 30 minutes. So you will be candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 30 minutes starts now. Okay, time's up. Please pass the test questions and answer. So, since written test is done,
Instruct candidate number 1 to proceed to the assessment area while the other candidates stand by in the waiting area.
I will now proceed to the actual demonstration. Candidate number 1, please proceed to the assessment center. So candidate number 2, please proceed to the assessment area.
Collect the evidence and make the assessment decision. To simulate the assessment process, 2 candidates will be shown performing the tasks in this video. One candidate will represent being competent, while the other one is not yet competent. Explain to the candidate the task to be performed.
So now let us begin. Candidates, this is your assigned assessment area. Please come forward. Are you ready for the assessment?
Yes.
Alright, and you listen attentively. We have here the different materials, tools and equipment, and ingredients which you will use in performing the task.
Explain to the candidate the task to be performed.
So I already provide you with the specific observing everyone while performing the task. After your demonstration, I will be asking some questions related to your demonstration of the 5 units of competencies. In 6 hours and 30 minutes, using these given materials, tools, and equipment.
Ask if the candidate has questions or clarifications regarding the instructions.
Let me remind everyone to observe safety precautions during the demonstration. So you will now start.
Conduct assessment in accordance with the methodologies specified in the evidence plan and the specific instructions for the competency assessor. Implement the evidence gathering process and ensure its validity, reliability, fairness, and flexibility. Observe the candidate and keep notes of the candidate's performance during the entire conduct of assessment. These notes will be used for the provision of feedback to the candidate's performance during the assessment. Collect appropriate evidence and match compatibility to the elements, performance criteria, range of variables, and evidence guide in the relevant units of competency. Judge the evidence in terms of the dimensions of competency.
Okay, you have 10 minutes left. Okay, time's up.
After the demonstration, the candidate will be asked a series of questions based on her performance.
Candidate number 1, please take your seat. So, are you ready for your oral questioning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is your question. So, what are the most important things to consider when choosing an appetizer recipe?
Consider the occasion, the main course, the season, and the dietary needs or the preferences of your guest. So it is also important to choose a recipe that is within your skill level.
The candidate number 1 is able to answer all the questions asked by the assessor.
Candidate number 2, please take your seat. So, are you ready for your oral questioning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is your question. How can you ensure your appetizer is both visually appealing and delicious?
When we use a variety of colors, textures, and flavors. Consider the arrangement of ingredients on the plate. Visually pleasing presentation enhances the overall dining experience. Another is
The candidate number 2 will also be able to answer the questions, though some of her answers are incorrect. Record and rating sheet details of evidence collected and judgment made about the candidate's performance. Provide feedback on the assessment. The assessor must provide candidate about the outcomes of the assessment process. For positive feedback, competent.
So, how are you feeling today, candidate number 1?
I felt confident, ma'am.
Okay, so you demonstrated excellent appetizer preparation skills, showcasing both technical proficiency and a keen eye for detail. Your technique was precise and efficient, and you maintained a spotless, hygienic workspace throughout the demonstration, clearly prioritizing food safety. So this attention to hygiene is commendable and crucial in food preparation. So, Ms. Limbaro, I found out that you performed well and did very well in all units of competencies, especially in preparing appetizer. So, however, as an assessor observing your performance, I noticed that you need to polish and practice on other activities, particularly in presenting the dishes. But your performance is within the standard requirements of the qualification as prescribed in the training regulations and competency-based curriculum. And since your performance meets the critical aspect of competency, I will now declare you a competent. Congratulations for performing well. You are indeed competent in the 3 units of core competencies, and now you are one of the NC2 holders in Cookery NC2. So kindly affix your signature in this rating sheet. So this is a proof that you accept the assessment decision and also affix your signature in this competency assessment results summary.
Provide information in claiming national certificate or certificate of competency.
So
Ms. Limbaro, you can get your national certificate or certificate of competency from the TESDA Provincial Office upon presentation of your course 5 working days after the assessment, and please bring with you your course which will be given by the assessment center manager later on. So bring also 2 pieces of passport size with white colored background with name tag and prepare 50 pesos for payment. So once again, Ms. Limbaro, congratulations. So before you go, this is the assessor's evaluation form. Kindly evaluate my performance and how I conducted the assessment. Are you done? Yes, ma'am. Okay, I will be very happy to accept your suggestions to improve my role as a competency assessor. So thank you and God bless. You may now go.
In providing negative feedback, it is recommended that you carry out the following recommendations. Be positive without raising any false expectations.
So how are you feeling today? I'm feeling good. Okay.
Identify whether any part or parts of the assessment needs to be repeated, and if so, which parts.
So your demonstration of appetizer preparation revealed several areas needing significant improvement. While the chosen recipe was simple, the execution lacked both precision and attention to detail. You have failed to wash your hands adequately between handling raw and cooked ingredients, or the workspace was cluttered and unsanitary, potentially compromising food safety. So the final presentation was also lacking and did not enhance the visual appeal of the dish, but this is not a hindrance for future improvements, and consider this as learning and new challenges. Okay, Ms. Calope, based on your performance, you were not able to perform within the standard requirements in this qualification. So your performance didn't meet the critical aspect of competency. For now, your performance is not yet competent. So don't worry, for reassessment, you can come back after a month. Of reassessment when you feel confident enough that you have acquired the competence. Don't worry, you will only be reassessed on specific areas that were found not yet competent.
Emphasize and explain the results. Which competency has been and has not been achieved. Arrange further opportunity for candidate to complete assessment requirements. Provide information on the appeal system and reassessment process. Record and report the result. The assessor shall record the assessment outcome. Ensure rating sheets are signed by the candidate after providing feedback.
This is the assessor's evaluation form. Kindly evaluate my performance and how I conducted the assessment. So are you done?
Yes,
Okay. So I will be very happy to accept your suggestions to improve my role as a competency assessor. So thank you and God bless.
Accomplish the competency assessment results summary. Submit to the assessment center manager assessment reports. The assessment center manager will give the documents to the processing officer to accomplish the Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified. Signed Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified. After accomplishing the Registry of Workers Assessed and Certified, the processing officer will ask the assessor and assessment center manager to sign before passing it on together with the other documents to the TESDA representative. The TESDA representative will then deliver the documents to the designated TESDA office.